beautiful ones. Welcome to your next A Course in Miracles lesson, number 38. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. Your holiness reverses all the laws of the world. It is beyond every restriction of time, space, distance, and limits of any kind. Your holiness is totally unlimited in its power because it establishes you as the Son of God, at one with the mind of His Creator. Through your holiness, the power of God is made manifest. Through your holiness, the power of God is made available. And there is nothing the power of God cannot do. Your holiness, then, can remove all pain, can end all sorrow, and can solve all problems. It can do so in connection with yourself and with anyone else. It is equal in its power to help anyone because it is equal in its power to save anyone. If you are holy, so is everything God created. You are holy because all things He created are holy. And all things He created are holy because you are. In today's exercises, we will apply the power of your holiness to all problems, difficulties, or suffering in any form that you happen to think of, in yourself or in someone else. We will make no distinctions because there are no distinctions. In the 4 longer practice periods, each preferably to last a full 5 minutes, repeat the idea for today, close your eyes, and then search your mind for any sense of loss or unhappiness of any kind as you see it. Try to make as little distinction as possible between a situation that is difficult for you and one that is difficult for someone else. Identify the situation specifically and also the name of the person concerned. Use this form in applying the idea for today. In the situation involving the blank in which I see myself, there is nothing that my holiness cannot do. In the situation involving the in which the sees himself, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. From time to time, you may want to vary this procedure and add some relevant thoughts of your own. You might like, for example, to include thoughts such as, there is nothing my holiness cannot do because the power of God lies in it. Introduce whatever variations appeal to you, but keep the exercises focused on the theme. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. The purpose of today's exercises is to begin to instill in you a sense that you have dominion over all things because of what you are. I'll read that last line. The purpose of today's exercises is to begin to instill in you a sense that you have dominion over all things because of what you are. In the frequent shorter applications, apply the idea in its original form unless a specific problem concerning you or someone else arises or comes to mind. In that event, use the more specific form in applying the idea to it. Okay, so do lesson 38, the first practice session. and then come back and join us for Jesus commentary. Jesus commentary, lesson 38. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. You are blessed beings, indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. As usual, we thank you for joining us today. You give yourself the most beautiful gift when you discipline your mind. You no longer exist as a victim of its stories, hatefulness, and fear as you master these lessons. We know they have become more difficult for you to fit into your day, and your decision to continue to make progress becomes very important right now. You must decide, is my peace of mind worth finding these 5-minute periods in which to do this exercise? Do I value everything else that is going on in my day more than finding the time to do these exercises? If you say to yourself, I'm too busy with the problems and busyness of my current life to do these exercises, you tacitly say, my life will stay the same because I am not willing to do anything differently. It's an important thing for you to see. If you get to the end of your day and you have forgotten all the lessons, you didn't make the time, you must admit to yourself that your spiritual practice is not that important to you because you didn't think about it all day long. Many people, in regard to their spiritual practice, say, oh, no, I'm a very spiritual person. I've read all these books and I believe in these things. But when it comes down to the discipline of doing these lessons, the mind becomes occupied with worldly matters, not spiritual matters. It's very important that you notice this if it happens to you. Don't berate or condemn yourself, but witness. I went through 8 hours today and not once did I think about my spiritual life. I must reassess my definition of myself as a spiritual practitioner, because for those 8 hours, I wasn't. I was not paying attention. I was caught up in the momentum of my already existing material life. This is a hard lesson for many people because they view themselves as highly evolved spiritual students, yet have no idea what's going on in their minds. For those of you now beginning to see that, perhaps you're not quite as spiritually focused as you thought. And that is okay, dear ones. That is what this training program is for, as we have said many times. Now is the time to call on your holiness, your connection to spirit, and your connection to love to carry you through these more disciplined time frames we speak about in this particular lesson. You can take 5 minutes to buy yourself a coffee, put gas in your car, and go on Facebook to scroll through posts there. So allow yourself the luxury of taking 5 minutes to connect with truth. My name is Jesus. I am that one you know as Jesus. I lived on your earth plane a long time ago in your timeline. I remember the temptations of earth, not in the sense of evil or lustfulness, but how much time everything took. The labor, busyness, dramas, and other people wanting you to do things. So I know that these lessons challenge you. We on this side know the benefits of these lessons, and we encourage you to follow this guidance. We will speak We will speak to you again tomorrow. Thank you. Namaste.